We arrived in Niagara Falls at my grandma's house and enjoyed having some space to play after a long 10 days on the road. Kenzie continued her quest to make new friends, and I set out to get my drone back in the air.
Well, we'll see if this works. Heat it up and see if we can bend it back. Seems to be working, doesn't it, Everett?
We had hustled our way across Canada to make it in time for a mini family reunion, which we turned into a little concert for my grandma. We gathered at the church my grandparents had been involved with for over 70 years, including being instrumental in restoring the old St. John's Church. We enjoyed taking in the many performances of my talented cousins, aunts, and uncles. After the masses had gone, we did some exploring in and around Grandma's.
A playground!
The Niagara Glen hike down to the river wasn't quite as strenuous as we were told it would be, but it was still a nice hike. Everett managed to do the whole thing all on his own, didn't he? Yeah, and we had a nice lunch. It's a beautiful spot here down by the river, but it's hardly a place of peaceful serenity in nature, as there are helicopters going over almost constantly. And if you love helicopters and gondolas, this is not a bad place.
That's 200 step.
I did it, Mommy!
We took a day trip to nearby Font Hill to see the Comfort Maple. Canada's oldest sugar maple, it is believed to be about 500 years old. The sugar maple, a truly Canadian symbol, this tree is as old as European occupation of what is now Canada. Although it remains standing with the help of cables, it continues to live and grow. This is one of the last places I visited with both my grandma and grandpa before he passed away almost 10 years ago. We burned off some energy at the local splash park. Before saying goodbye and hitting the road once again to see Sandra's aunt in Oshawa.
Well, the search is on. After I did my little walk around video this morning of us having breakfast, I noticed that the rear wheel of my bike was missing. So I'm trying to retrace our steps. We looked at the photo we took of the van this morning, and it was there, so it means it must have fallen off. So I'm retracing our steps and our drive. We went down to Provincial Park and decided not to eat there because it was $14.50 for a day pass. Get real, Ontario. Still no wheel. Couldn't find anything. Like it probably rolled off into a ditch somewhere. One of those pain in the ass things that is it's going to take time to replace, and it's also expensive. It's a good thing it didn't happen on the highway and cause an accident, as far as we know. But it's not really a problem if you can solve it with a MasterCard. It's just a shame to waste money like that and time. But I got pancakes and coffee, so that's not bad. Van life. I'm getting funny looks in the park, I guess, for having a random picnic in a parking lot at a playground.
So we were on the move once again. On our way to visit my cousin and family in Grafton. Before driving through flooded roads from the overnight rains on our way to Cottage Country, where one town along the way caught my particular attention. Cottage Country. It seems like a deep-rooted part of Canadian life and culture, despite never having been part of my own life. It's an Ontario thing, but I had heard countless friends who had moved out west wax poetic about time at their family cottage. Now it was our turn to soak in this Canadian tradition at Sandra's aunt's family cottage at Lake Kashima-Wigamog. Our weekend began with their traditional kickoff to summer, installing the dock. Once installed, we worked on our boating skills. And although Everett's not always the best mentor, he has his moments.
Put on to the side. I'm going.
Everett and I set out for a short canoe ride. Just the two of us.
You want to clap your hands?
There are few moments of bonding more special or more Canadian than being alone in a canoe together.
This is good.
We then focused our efforts on less effort.
What do you think of cottage life?
Relaxing. Might have something to do with the family that's around. Extra hands.
The next day, Uncle Fred spent time mentoring Everett, while the rest of us enjoyed the morning of sunshine before the weather was set to turn in the afternoon.
What is that?
Sounds like the wind is bringing the light. Comes from the lightning. That's when spark jumps from one cloud to another.
And with the weather turning gloomy, we played inside as we prepared for Everett's big day.
Everett, how old are you? How old are you gonna turn on your birthday? Your birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you.
I will feel them out.
For the same
After a birthday breakfast, we went out for a ride in Uncle Fred's boat. Everett worked his way up to being comfortable with going fast. And I got some sleepy snuggles with my ever-growing little girl. And then it was time to get on the road again.
Bye-bye.
Bye!
What lovely people.
Join us next time as we get to know Ottawa on our bikes and celebrate Canada 150.